Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, January 6th at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time by Zeno Reader. There are 740 headlines from 108 these we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. These Trumpist terrorists just violated 6 federal laws. Trump is furious, but not at the MAGA mob that stormed the Capitol. Biden slams pro-Trump riots in Capitol. It's not protest, it's insurrection. Biden calls on mob to pull back, urges restoring decency. McConnell, Trump election claims include sweeping conspiracy theories, nation deserves a lot better. Sacha Baron Cohen said Rudy Giuliani refused a COVID test before the infamous fake interview in Borat 2. Palestinian activist convicted by Israeli military court. John Ossoff declares victory in Georgia Senate runoff as race remains too close to call. Huckabee, I'd love to see some Democrats demand a full accounting of election results. Inside fashion designer Brian Atwood's vibrant apartment 64 floors above Manhattan. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. One shot dead, Congress evacuated, National Guard activated after pro-Trump rioters storm Capitol, NBC News. Justice Department, federal court system hit by Russian hack, The Associated Press. Trump supporters storm U.S. Capitol, lawmakers evacuated, Associated Press. U.S. Trade Group asks VP Pence to seriously consider invoking 25th Amendment to remove Trump, CNBC. New York Stock Exchange reverses course again, will delist 3 Chinese telecom stocks, The Wall Street Journal. Rap Ilhan Omar drawing up articles of impeachment for Trump, Fox 9. Kim Kardashian says she's getting her mind and body right amid Kanye West divorce rumors, Fox News. John Ossoff defeats incumbent David Perdue to become Georgia's next senator, WSB Atlanta. Pence breaks with Trump on electoral college role, CNN. WhatsApp gives users an ultimatum, share data with Facebook or stop using the app, Ars Technica. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Lawmakers called to impeach Trump, accuse him of inciting Capitol riot. Rioters breach Nancy Pelosi's offices, put feet on desks, leave menacing note. World reacts with shock, horror as Trump goons attempt to thwart the democracy. Florida company accused of steering vaccines to rich donors. The plot to storm the Capitol was brewing for days in pro-Trump online media. NAACP on pro-Trump rioters, you thought taking a knee was too much. Former COVID-19 skeptic begs Americans to mask up after testing positive. Back in July, Trump demanded Capitol protesters serve 10 years in prison. Biden stridently denounces unprecedented assault on democracy, it borders on sedition. Democrats win control of the U.S. Senate, thanks to Georgia. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Landlord groups call for rental assistance. Man arrested for stealing catalytic converters. Houston woman arrested in theft of $10K dog. Ohio woman finds kidney donor in death. Nurse's truck stolen from hospital parking lot. Protesters take to streets in Kenosha. Some restaurants struggle as others open their dining rooms to customers. Girl who lost dad wants cards for birthday. Big spending among diversity-owned businesses. School aims to sell children's museum property. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Victories will reshape balance of power as Biden takes office. Biden calls on Trump to demand an end to this siege. Washington in the final convulsions of the Trump era. Markets jump as investors bet on growth. Biden said to pick Merrick Garland as Attorney General. Trump incites rioters. Violence on Capitol Hill is a day of reckoning for social media. The chaos at the Capitol shows America is in a reality crisis. Business leaders condemn violence on Capitol Hill, this is sedition. More U.S. pharmacists to start vaccinating high-risk groups. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Squad members blast Republicans amid riots. Los Angeles Police Department union rejects $10 plan to back 2022 candidates as defund police grips political hold. Media buzz, mob violence halts Hill election debate, Trump accused of inciting protesters. Twitter flags Trump video due to risk of violence, as he tells protesters to go home, claims race stolen. Democratic House members call for Trump impeachment, removal amid Capitol protest. Pro-Trump protesters storm Pelosi's office, take over Senate chamber at U.S. Capitol. World leaders condemn violence at U.S. Capitol, urge orderly transfer of power. Alleged witness to Capitol Hill shooting speaks out, claims his hand was covered in victims' blood. Biden calls on protesters to pull back, says their actions border on sedition. XWH Alyssa Farah to Trump supporters, I need you to hear me, the election was not stolen, we lost. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, January 6th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. NFL wildcard playoffs NFC picks, Bears Saints could go right down to the wire, says Sportsline's Kenny White. Gabrielle Navi-Green and Lex Lumpkin on Nickelodeon's NFL wildcard game, this is geared specifically for kids and families. Stimulus check update, how much money will new parents receive? 63rd Annual Grammy Awards rescheduled due to COVID-19 pandemic. I feel fine. 107-year-old woman survived Spanish flu, cancer, and now COVID-19. 82-year-old Texan dubbed old man Steve becomes TikTok sensation. Farm family devastated after Christmas Eve fire kills hundreds of animals. I feel stupid. Woman loses $50,000 after being duped by accused Ponzi schemer. Stimulus check latest. Will you receive a third payment later this year? The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Female Trump supporter shot as mob storms Capitol building. Trump calls for peace and respect for law enforcement. London's hospitals will be overwhelmed by COVID patients in 2 weeks, Stark NHS briefing warns. Pro-Trump protests hit Kansas, Oregon, California and Georgia. Turkey calls for calm and urges common sense to resolve political crisis in the U.S. The immune-boosting products that actually work. Police enforcing lockdown laws will fine people the first time they are caught not wearing a mask. Vaccine approval is finally cut from 20 days to 5. Romanian barman walks free despite being caught with Tamara Ecclestone's Louis Vuitton handbag. Are you suffering from menopause face? How you can turn back time without HRT or Botox. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Zimbabwe jails 3 for having New Year's party despite ban. Total submission, with mass arrests, China neutralizes Hong Kong democracy movement. Trump's bitter fight and the fragility of U.S. democracy. Authorities fear 40 dead in East Congo after boat capsizes. British judge denies WikiLeaks Julian Assange bail in extradition case, citing flight risk. In Beirut, a bronze bust of Iran general sparks controversy. India says it will prioritize Sri Lanka in providing vaccine. What's reopen and what's still restricted in 16 cities around the world. Politics frustrate WHO mission to search for origins of coronavirus in China. World stunned by subversion of U.S. democracy after pro-Trump throng breaches Capitol. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Trump tells mob that stormed Congress we love you as Biden condemns siege, follow live. Coronavirus live news, Ireland tightens lockdown as cases hit record high, EU approves Moderna vaccine. Trump blows up U.S. democracy, the world watch is on in horror. John Ossoff wins Georgia runoff election, giving Democrats control of Senate. Tear gas and shots fired as pro-Trump mob rampages through Congress. Pro-Trump mob storms U.S. Capitol, in pictures. John Stones exposes Manchester United to return City to Carabao Cup final. MAGA mob's Capitol invasion makes Trump's assault on democracy literal. IOC seeks COVID vaccines for athletes in second wave so Olympics can go ahead. Department of Justice confirms email accounts breached by SolarWinds hackers. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Biden to Trump, demand an end to this siege. Updates, Capitol breached by protesters, woman shot inside. Chicago priest devastated by sex abuse allegations. U.S. holds first oil lease sale for Alaska's Arctic refuge. Woman charged for stealing $10K dog from Houston area shop. Trump supporters, other passengers and shouting bout on plane. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Biden blasts Trump supporters siege of Capitol. U.S. Congress in turmoil as violent Trump supporters breach building. U.S. Capitol, world leaders react to horrifying scenes in Washington. Georgia Senate election, Democrats take control with Warnock and Ossoff wins. National security law, Hong Kong rounds up 53 pro-democracy activists. Georgia election, Trump voter fraud claims and others fact-checked. Trump, we will never give up, we will never concede. Senate debate suspended as protesters enter Capitol. U.S. election 2020, moment protesters storm U.S. Capitol building. Merrick Garland, ex-Supreme Court nominee tapped for Attorney General. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Trump rally turns violent as rioters storm U.S. Capitol. Biden, scenes at Capitol do not reflect America. Pro-Trump rioters breach Capitol, forcing lockdown, 1 person shot, Pence evacuated, Senate chamber cleared out. Police shot at Black Lives Matter protesters, but law enforcement response to U.S. Capitol attack seemed muted in contrast. Lawmakers evacuated as protesters storm Capitol. Trump urges Capitol protesters to go home now. John Ossoff wins, handing Dems Senate control. GOP congressman to Trump, call it off. California woman pleads guilty to federal hate crime for threatening to bomb one of country's oldest Catholic school for girls. AP Top Stories January 6 p. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. George Regas, progressive crusader and longtime rector of All Saints in Pasadena, dies at 90. Newsom cancels COVID-19 briefing amid outrage over mob violence at U.S. Capitol. Rep. Michelle Steele, who questioned the need for a mask mandate in Orange County, tests positive for coronavirus. Trump supporters clash with counter-protesters, police in LA as violence erupts in Washington. Some California superintendents say Newsom's classroom reopening plan comes up short. 4 arrested in attempted burglary of Dr. Dre's home while music mogul hospitalized. Newsom proposes $600 payments to Californians in need and extending COVID-19 eviction moratorium. Methodist Hospital in Arcadia implements crisis care amid overwhelming COVID-19 surge. Central Valley hospitals brace for oxygen shortages, lack of space for bodies. LA officials allowed dozens without medical credentials to get COVID-19 vaccine early. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 6, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Boris Johnson condemns disgraceful scenes in U.S. UK PM Johnson calls for end to disgraceful scenes in Washington. Canada PM Trudeau expresses concern about violence in Washington. Catalyst for a movement, people around the world on ribbon skirts after Sask girl shamed for wearing hers. Many scientists now say global warming could stop relatively quickly after emissions go to zero. It is our best understanding that, if we bring down CO2 to net zero, the warming will level off, the climate will stabilize within a decade or two. Mexican president offers to vaccinate unlawful migrants in U.S. Denmark launches children's TV show about men with giant penis, aimed at 4-8-year-olds. Israel quietly handed over vaccines to Palestinian Authority. French authorities charged and jailed the suspected organizer of an illegal New Year rave that saw 2,400 people defy virus rules, in a ruling slammed on Wednesday by his supporters as an injustice. Brazilian beef farms used workers kept in conditions similar to slavery. Workers on farms supplying world's biggest meat firms allegedly paid $8 a day and housed in shacks with no toilets or running water. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro said his country is broken. He is unable to do anything about it. Brazil is broke, boss. I cannot do anything. China hits city of 11 million with tight restrictions as more than 100 COVID cases discovered. EU calls for immediate release of 53 Hong Kong activists that were detained on Wednesday after being accused of violating a new security law imposed by Beijing last June. In rare display of contrition, North Korean leader admits failures. 55% of Israelis over 60 have received first dose of vaccine. The next headlines are from Forbes. The Brexit deal, some good, some bad, some ugly. Georgia victories hand control of Senate to Democrats. Here's what they'll likely tackle first. What if they were black? Commentators, Twitter users denounce double standard as cops take selfies with Capitol protesters. Twitter blocks replies, likes, retweets on Trump's video citing risk of violence. Milwaukee Bucks are getting offensive on the boards. State capitals, too. Trump supporters gather in Georgia, Texas forcing shutdowns. Liam Hendriks, Brad Hand and other bullpen arms can break free agent logjam by signing soon. Here's what the Republicans who pledged to challenge Biden's win are saying now. Biden says Capitol breach is insurrection that borders on sedition. Oil market bulls feast on free lunch served up by Saudi Arabia. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Single defect phonons imaged by electron microscopy. 11 tops photonic convolutional accelerator for optical neural networks. Genomic basis of geographical adaptation to soil nitrogen in rice. An integrated space-to-ground quantum communication network over 4,600 kilometers. Origins of structural and electronic transitions in disordered silicon. Core collapse supernova explosion theory. In vivo base editing rescues Hutchinson-Gilford-Progeria syndrome in mice. Structures of the glucocorticoid-bound adhesion receptor GPR97 sub complex. Poleward and weakened westerlies during Pliocene warmth. Design of biologically active binary protein 2D materials. The world population update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,677,636,912 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. How television news outmatched Donald Trump on a dark day. Hulu sets Solar Opposite Season 2 premiere date, TV News Roundup. Facebook deletes Trump's video message to rioters, citing risk of violence. Late night shows to air original episodes as planned amid Washington, D.C. unrest. Police clear rioters from Capitol and report 13 arrests. Hollywood slams President Trump's video message to rioters, what a lying sack of s. 123-year-old Musicians Union AFM Local 47 elects first female president. Catherine Zeta-Jones to star in second season of Fox Police procedural Prodigal Son. President Trump's chilling message to violent mob overtaking Capitol, go home, we love you, you're very special. President-elect Joe Biden demands President Trump end siege at the Capitol. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Rep. Omar says she is drafting new articles of impeachment against Trump. World leaders deplore pro-Trump extremists breaching U.S. Capitol. Trump downplays insurrection but tells supporters to go home. Major oil companies take a pass on controversial lease sale in Arctic refuge. D.C. mayor issues 6 p.m. curfew as Trump supporters breach Capitol. Philippine journalist says Rodrigo Duterte's presidency is based on fear, violence. U.S. Capitol in chaos as pro-Trump extremists breach building. McConnell condemns Republican objections to Electoral College results. Germany moves toward requiring women on large companies' executive boards. Doctors encouraged by antibody treatments for COVID-19. The following headlines are from The Week. Facebook removes Trump's tepid call for protesters to back down, arguing it contributes to risk of ongoing violence. The limits of LARPing. How Republicans will try to evade responsibility for the storming of the Capitol. Lawmakers are hoping to quickly return to Capitol to finish Electoral College certification. Former White House Communications Director Alyssa Farah, the election was not stolen, we lost. 2 weeks is too long, remove Trump from office now. Republicans widely condemn Capitol mob, Trump overdays events. Progressives called to impeach Trump again, expel lawmakers who try to overturn election. Pipe bomb reportedly found at RNC headquarters. Democrat Jon Ossoff projected to win Georgia Senate seat. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Why didn't San Antonio police immediately apply first aid to Darrell Zumwalt Sr. after shooting him? Sheldon Adelson bets big on Texas casinos. The following headlines are from the NASA Mars Exploration Program. 7 things to know about the NASA rover about to land on Mars. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Japan to launch wooden satellite in 2023. Here's the asteroid Hayabusa 2 is going to be visiting next. Missing, supermassive black hole with up to 100 billion times the mass of the Sun. Astronomers set a new record and find the farthest galaxy. Its light took 13.4 billion years to reach us. The interior of Enceladus looks really great for supporting life. Chang'e 5 brought home 1.7 kilograms of lunar samples. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, January 6th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Hostile space weather might not be all bad for exoplanet life. Biggest asteroid to pass Earth in 2021, also one of the fastest. Your photos of Venus, as it descends into the dawn. Say hello to Sirius, a future South Pole star. Last quarter moon and Spica mornings of January 6th and 7th. Meet Pit Ranger, tiny rover designed to probe the lunar underworld. The next news is from Politico. Rioters halt Electoral College certification. Badasses in their own right, meet the fresh women of Congress. As cases spike, Europe mulls delaying second coronavirus vaccine shot. Highly disturbing, Europe reacts as Trump supporters wage chaos in U.S. Capitol. Results for Purdue, Ossoff Senate race. YouTube, Facebook and Twitter squelched Trump's video on Capitol breach. Newsom calls U.S. Capitol riot outright assault to our democracy. Trump urges special Capitol rioters to go home now. National Guardsmen pour into D.C. after Capitol overrun by pro-Trump rioters. Ossoff scores victory over Perdue in Senate runoff. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australia vs India third test live updates. Australia too bad, Pukowski to debut at SCG. U.S. protests live updates. Capitol building now secure as Trump supporters riot in Washington. One woman shot, killed. U.S. Congress building under attack. Coronavirus updates live. More Sydney suburbs banned from SCG test. Victoria records 0 COVID-19 cases. Scott Morrison calls national cabinet meeting. Insurrection. Biden calls storming of the Capitol an assault on liberty. Dr. Dre says he is doing great after reports of brain aneurysm. Cricket. Australia seeks urgent answers over reports of Indian boycott of Brisbane. What we know so far about the storming of the U.S. Capitol. He gets the golden ticket, I get the bullet. Commonwealth ignores flood act will end most WA travel agents. High-density hotspots, coastal bargains, pundit predicts Perth's 2021 boom suburbs. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The Margin, watch, hundreds of Trump supporters storm Capitol Hill, break fences and fight with police. Capitol report, Congress looks to resume confirmation of Biden victory after protesters storm Capitol building in Washington. The Margin, world leaders Boris Johnson, Justin Trudeau and others condemn shocking and disgraceful scenes at U.S. Capitol. New U.S. rule could boost gig economy companies while costing American workers billions. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube restrict, but don't ban, Trump posts amid Capitol siege. Market Extra, why the Dow closed at a record even as a violent mob stormed the Capitol. U.S. traded Chinese stocks finish lower as ban momentum grows. Biden calls for end to Capitol unrest, enough is enough. Newswatch, Dow ends at record high despite Capitol siege by mob protesting change of power in Washington. TaxWatch, 10 Biden tax plans that will sail through a Democratic-controlled Senate, and how to prepare for them. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Greenberg Traurig expands Atlanta intellectual property and technology practice with addition of Nigam and Achariah, Yahoo Finance. U.S. PTO closing gap in terminal disclaimer practice, the National Law Review. U.S. Navy patents pest magnet fate method, pest management professional magazine. SOFC's VI brings world's leading solid oxide fuel cells authorities to Stockholm in July 2021, Newswise. A database rebuilt to champion Bayh-Dole Act, Mirage News. Vietnam temporarily reduces some IP fees by 50%, Lixology. Form 8K Hute Biologics, Incorporated, 4, December 31st Street Insider.com. New designs subject to protection in Japan are already popular, intellectual property, India, Mondak News alerts. 8 steps to success in navigating subsequent patent applications in the United States, IPWatchdog.com. 2020's legal hurdles for Pharma Times. The next headlines are from Quartz. How the rest of the world is reacting to the chaos in Washington. How Biden can ramp up his climate ambitions now that Democrats have won the Senate. Can Mike Pence force Trump out of office? Police treated Black Lives Matter protesters and the violent pro-Trump mob very differently. Photos, Trump supporters storm the U.S. Capitol. U.S. legislators react to the pro-Trump mob breaking into the Capitol. A violent pro-Trump mob stormed the U.S. Capitol. After Georgia Senate election, see how well Congress reflects U.S. diversity. LeBron James wants to buy a defeated Georgia Senators basketball team. Why Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and Jamie Dimon gave up on their venture to disrupt U.S. healthcare. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Pennsylvania school district asks Supreme Court to allow it to continue to violate students' First Amendment rights. Could the digital divide unite us? Cass Sunstein's no good, horrible, very bad idea for using defamation to fight fake news. Daily Deal, the premium Learn to Code 2021 bundle. UK music rights group demands payment from a pub that isn't playing any music because it's closed due to COVID. Putting brain 5G conspiracy somehow get even dumber. Going dark is BS, says yet another report detailing all the ways law enforcement can obtain evidence. Surprise, Singapore backtracks on privacy pledge and opens contact tracing data to police. Philadelphia residents on the hook for $9.8 million for putting the wrong man in prison for 28 years. Viasat asks FCC to investigate SpaceX for space pollution. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Barcelona. Kevin McCarthy. Juventus. News Today. Capital. Reuters. AOC. PBS. Yellowbeezy. Manchester United. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Woman shot during U.S. Capitol siege dies as Virginia governor declares emergency and curfew kicks in. Chaos and protests continue outside U.S. Capitol as D.C. mayor declares curfew, National Guard fully activated. Democracy must be respected. France, UK and NATO condemn chaos in Washington, call for peaceful transfer of power. You have to go home now, Trump urges supporters who breached Capitol to leave, says I know how you feel, video. D.C. mayor and Democrat VA governor beg for state troopers their constituents want defunded as unrest at Capitol continues. McConnell scorches Trump's election fraud claims, says democracy would enter a death spiral if results overturned. It's not protest, it's insurrection, Biden tells Trump to demand end to siege on Capitol. Trump supporter shot during Capitol breach, now in critical condition. Bolivia registers Sputnik V vaccine against COVID-19 on basis of Russian trial data, Moscow. Trump supporters in armed standoff with police inside U.S. Capitol as offices evacuated and lawmakers told to don gas masks, reports. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Despite no lockdown mask mandate, Florida has same hospitalization rate as 2018 flu season. Northeast braces for high-impact snowstorms. Chicago's COVID and crime mess captured in on graphic. Real estate magnates accused of helping country club pals skip COVID vaccine line in Florida. Failure to contain big tech is the biggest failure of 2020. Trump urges protesters to go home now in video blasting stolen election. As protest images spread, Twitter restricts engagement with tweets that risk violence. Big tech and bonds battered but Bitcoin bid on blue wave, gold pump head dumped. Pelosi, Schumer urged Trump to demand all protesters leave Capitol, as National Guard, FBI deployed. DNC headquarters evacuated, explosive device found at RNC. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Fed supports advance notice on changes to $120 billion bond purchases. Dark days of labor market, U.S. firms shed jobs as COVID surges. U.S., 2 police officers fired over Breonna Taylor shooting. Big Oil sits out Trump's last-ditch U.S. Arctic drilling auction. Democrats take control of U.S. Senate after Ossoff, Warnock win. Biden denounces pro-Trump mob, Trump says he loves them. Disgraceful, world reacts as Trump supporters storm U.S. Capitol. Wall Street closes higher but U.S. Capitol chaos halts stock surge. Pro-Donald Trump protesters storm U.S. Capitol. Rights group urges Biden to end Remain in Mexico program. The next headlines are from Breitbart. GOP Rep Kinzinger, Trump incited this coup, did little to protect the Capitol. Democrat John Ossoff ousts GOP Senator David Perdue in Georgia. Ilhan Omar, I am drawing up articles of impeachment against President Trump. CNN's Tapper, Trump, Hawley, Cruz unleashed the definition of sedition, we are watching attempted bloodless coup. GOP Rep Chip Roy, will not be deterred in fulfilling oath by mob demand. NY Times, pipe bomb found at Republican National Committee headquarters. Donald Trump posts video urging protesters to go home in peace, you're very special. Chad Wolf, violent opportunists at the U.S. Capitol grounds must be held accountable. Joe Biden demands Trump and supporters god-awful display on Capitol Hill. Washington, D.C. mayor declares curfew as protesters storm U.S. Capitol. The next headlines are from UPI News. Nebraska woman wins second lottery jackpot in 5 months. Police find reported severed foot was mannequin part. Watch, Nova Scotia kite surfer finds message in a bottle with diamond ring. Look, mystery llama found wandering loose in Massachusetts. UAE chefs bake world's longest line of pies for Guinness record. Look, police respond to chickens wreaking havoc at New Jersey McDonald's. Watch, ostrich runs through Pakistani city after private zoo escape. Winnings from $200 lottery ticket lead couple to $100,000 jackpot. Firefighters rescued ear that fell through eyes of Wisconsin River. Watch, plywood crashes through woman's windshield on Florida highway. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. To protect the heart from breast cancer treatment, study finds statins could help. These African nations used satellite monitoring to cut deforestation by 18%. To keep pain in check, scientists say countdown. This city's police force says no officer fired a single shot in 2020, citing successful de-escalation training. Girl donates all her birthday money to homeless men who returned her grandma's wallet. A rare triple conjunction of planets will crown the night skies this weekend. Preschool director with big hard drives for Uber to ensure kids get holiday gifts, so community rallies to buy her a car. This lizard has his own cookbook, and it's utterly adorable. Indian man opens Rise ATM for people in need using $75 K life savings to help others. Adidas to launch plant-based shoes made of mushroom leather to top 60% sustainability for all products. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, January 6th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Fishermen rescue naked fugitive from crocodile-infested waters in Australia. You can eat your Christmas tree. Here's how to do it. Angry chickens wreak havoc at McDonald's parking lot drive-thru in New Jersey. Meanwhile, in Canada, robbers flee in an Uber with a suitcase full of meat. Children's TV show about men with giant penis airs in Denmark. Escaped hamster braves freezing temperatures to get to candy store. Vietnamese doctor finds dozens of mushrooms growing in patient's ears. A Roman slab was found in a garden in England. How it got there is a complete mystery. Thousands of candles recalled in Canada due to fire, burn hazard. Malaysian teen turns pineapple waste into disposable drone parts. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. UK government to put trust in teachers not algorithms on exam results after last year's debacle. Here's why the universe has more matter than antimatter. After 4 years of waiting, Indians might finally get their taste of Tesla this year. This highly rated app blocks annoying spam and robocalls is on sale. Alas, thy Nintendo 3DS will no longer be thy Netflix main driver. 4 founders explain the biggest hurdles to flattening the climate curve in 2021. Say hello to OpenAI's DALL-E, a GPT-3-powered bot that creates weird images from text. Don't dox yourself by tweeting about data breaches. Massachusetts copies California with gasoline car sales ban. Here's what that WhatsApp privacy policy pop-up means for you. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Modern microbes provide window into ancient ocean. Resist the resistance, fighting the good fight against bacteria. Chickatoxin's not supposed to kill you. Wait for me, cell biologists decipher signal that ensures no chromosome is left behind. Physicists observe competition between magnetic orders. DNA editing method shows promise to treat mouse model of progeria. Designer protein patches boost cell signaling. How Earth's oddest mammal got to be so bizarre. New research finds ginger counters certain autoimmune diseases in mice. Like carrying chips, advanced machine learning. The next headlines are from Information Week. Government CEOs prioritize chatbots in pandemic. Making CI/CD work for DevOps teams. 8 work-from-home experiences we didn't expect last year. Redefining the business analyst role. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, January 6th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA astronauts aboard space station to answer questions from STEM students. NASA highlights innovation, technology at Virtual Seat Tech Forum. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. U.S. Capitol complex secure after violent occupation. Tribune editorial, false accusations of voter fraud lead to treasonous violence on Capitol Hill. He was just a special young man, Lake Utah freshman running back Ty Jordan's life celebrated in Texas. Insurrection, Mitt Romney blamed Trump as a mob of his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. Breaking, hundreds protest the presidential election result at the Utah Capitol, causing some evacuations. Gordon Munson, what is happening to our country? Bagley cartoon, the beer gut putsch. In photos, U.S. Capitol storm during vote to certify Electoral College. Ask Dr. Angela Dunn, Utah's state epidemiologist, your COVID-19 questions in the Tribune's Facebook Live session, January 13th. Another 18 Utahns die from COVID-19, state reports Wednesday. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. U.S. bans WeChat Pay, Alipay and 6 more Chinese payment apps. Open source developer and manager David Gordon named White House Director of Technology. Nissan source code leaked online after Git repo misconfiguration. New York Stock Exchange to delist 3 Chinese telecoms in busying about face. Supersonic jets get a boost as FAA issues rule to spur tests. UK watchdog begins investigating Nvidia's $40 billion takeover of ARM. SolarWinds hackers access Department of Justice emails, but there's no indication they reached classified systems. Elon Musk close to surpassing Jeff Bezos as world's richest person. OpenAI's new AI model draws images from text. Facebook smart glasses coming sooner than later without AR. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. High video, police clear pro-Trump protesters from U.S. Capitol. 3 candidates ruled ineligible for St. Louis mayoral race after failing to get enough signatures on petitions. Charges filed in Ferguson major case homicide, vehicle still sought. John Ossoff wins Georgia runoff, Democrats effectively gain control of U.S. Senate. Biden denounces protesters' violence at the U.S. Capitol. Demonstrators invade offices of lawmakers inside U.S. Capitol. Missouri reports 2,854 new COVID cases, 33 deaths. Mayor Cruzan says COVID numbers still too high to roll back closing time restrictions. Illinois residents 65 and older eligible in next phase of COVID vaccinations. Missouri lawmakers react to protests in Washington. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Hit-run crash leads to shooting, 1 wounded. World leaders react as pro-Trump rioters storm U.S. Capitol, disgraceful scenes. County updates residents on COVID-19 pandemic. Members of San Diego's congressional delegation mark themselves safe. Person shot as rioters stormed Capitol has died. Fact check, Trump's false claims on a day of reckoning. Videos, photos show occupation of U.S. Capitol. South Bay woman pleads not guilty to killing friend. Newsom proposes $600 payment for low-income Californians. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. What's next for the S&P 500 after $3 trillion of Federal Reserve asset growth? Nasirka, spy. Israel gives heroes welcome to American spy Jonathan Pollard SAMAA. SolarWinds hack likely Russian, U.S. intelligence confirms. U.S. intelligence confirms SolarWinds hack likely Russian. FBI, CISA, NSA officially blame Russia for SolarWinds cyber attack. Suspected Chinese spies allowed to leave Afghanistan, report. NSA whistleblower Kirk Wiebe exposes U.S. stolen election. Politi fact, the Nashville explosion was a suicide bombing, not a missile strike. Was Nashville bombing a missile attack on a spy hub? Donald Trump ally Patrick Byrneback's conspiracy theory. Afghan government criticized for release of Chinese spies. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Ukrainian Marines to receive amphibious version of BTR-4. Safe Boat secures $19.9 million Pentagon contract for MKVI patrol boats for Ukraine. Israel and Greece sign biggest defense agreement. German Army awards contract to Rheinmetall to supply additional heavy tractor trailers. Spanish Army awards contract to Escribano for multi-platform swarm system. Australia is set to acquire 2 more P-8A Poseidon surveillance aircraft. Boeing received $21.6 million for support conversion of Saudi F-15S fighters. Lockheed Martin adds $4.90 for 3 next-generation geosynchronous space vehicles. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Trump bans Chinese apps, including Alipay and WeChat Pay, with lame duck executive order. Hawaii in wartime mode amid fresh cluster of coronavirus cases. Only when you, your children, and your grandchildren become Chinese, life after Xinjiang detainment. The new Fourth Army incident, the nationalist massacre that sealed the winning side's fate. China gives death penalty to former senior banking regulator for corruption. Heartthrob novelist Guo Jingming's new movie mysteriously pulled from cinemas after he apologizes for early career plagiarism. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi begins 5-nation Africa tour. Did the EU rush into the China investment deal before the 2020 deadline? China ramps up COVID-19 vaccinations, approves Sinopharm shot. Box office 2020, China tops world, even though ticket sales were down 70%. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, January 6, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Woman shot inside U.S. Capitol during violent pro-Trump protest has died. Twitter flags, Facebook removes Trump's video message. What's inside the U.S. Capitol? Explosive device found near Capitol amid protest. President Trump tells protesters at Capitol to go home. Warnock, Ossoff win in Georgia, handing Dems Senate control. Local leaders react as Trump supporters storm Capitol. Go home, Trump calls for peace after protesters overrun U.S. Capitol. U.S. Capitol siege, see images coming in from Washington, D.C. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. PSG draws in Pochettino's first game, leader Lyon wins 3-2. The latest, Capitol complex secured after violent occupation. Juventus wins 3-1 at Milan to enter Sonri's unbeaten run. 2 detectives involved in Breonna Taylor's death are fired. Images, violent protests at the United States Capitol. The latest, D.C. chief says at least 5 weapons recovered, 13 people arrested in pro-Trump protests. Lawmakers evacuated from U.S. Capitol as Trump supporters storm building. This is a coup attempt, Kinzinger tweets from the Capitol. Trump tells backers to go home after Capitol stormed. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Study, Seattle ranks as one of best cities to live without a car in 2021. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal, Pakistan. Drought is ongoing in Mexico, United States. Drought is ongoing in Peru. Drought is ongoing in Georgia, Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay, Uruguay. Drought is ongoing in Argentina. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Spain, Morocco. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, January 6th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Rioter enters Nancy Pelosi's office, take photos with feet on her desk. Trump, in video, tells very special protesters to go home but keeps up false election attacks. Twitter flags it for risk of violence. U.S. Capitol in D.C. now secured after mob of Trump supporters storm building. One shot, killed Watch Live. VP Mike Pence defies Trump, says he cannot reject electoral votes that make Biden president. Texas lawmakers react to protesters storming U.S. Capitol. Electoral college ballots rescued as protesters storm U.S. Capitol, senator says. Strong condemnation from U.S. allies as world leaders react to chaos on Capitol Hill. Severe thunderstorm watch through 7 p.m. U.S. lawmakers react to D.C. protest that has locked down the Capitol. Texas Capitol shuttered in wake of D.C. protest. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Bama's waddle back practicing, status for title game unclear. AP photos, scenes of violence at U.S. Capitol shock world. Capitol has seen violence over 220 years, but not like this. Ossoff seals Democrats sweep, will be youngest U.S. senator. Quebec orders 8 p.m. curfew beginning Saturday, for 4 weeks. Pistons say rookie G. Killian Hayes has torn hip labrum. George Washington basketball game postponed due to D.C. curfew. LSU taps Pete's, Mangus' top offensive coaches. Sark latest Bama assistant multitasking before title game. U.S. holds first lease sale for Alaska's Arctic refuge. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Live a blog, pro-Trump insurrectionists storm U.S. Capitol, delaying certification of Biden's election. Growing concerns over city jails handling the pandemic's second wave. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. For third year in a row, Cuomo announces plan to legalize recreational marijuana. Coronavirus updates, NY case of UK variant traced back to travel. New bill aims to curb parasite food delivery apps in NY state. Video shows NYPD officer kneeling on man's neck during arrest in Queens. Early edition, National Guard deployed in D.C. for today's pro-Trump protests. Hesitant healthcare workers are slowing down vaccine uptake. Judge clears way for Flushing bus lane opposed by local businesses. The next headlines are from Observer.com. 6 best acne treatment products for pimples, blackheads, whiteheads and scars. Shepard Fairey, Quaz, and more contribute to this film on behalf of young artists. Art fairs in 2021 will likely be local affairs instead of jet-setting ones. A new space race heats up as 3 Mars probes from NASA, China, and UAE arrive. Alex Garland is developing a new A24 film starring Jessie Buckley and Rory Kinnear. Best Nootropics, top 3 brain supplements of 2021. CBD Gummies UK, the 5 best CBD gummies in 2021. Netflix claims Bridgerton will be one of its 5 most watched shows ever. This record-breaking ring has 12,638 diamonds but appears too big to wear. Prince William and Kate might visit Montecito this year. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. Next, info on a few earthquakes today from earthquaketoday.com. Light earthquake, 4.2 mag strikes near Neafu in Tonga. Light earthquake, M4.4 quake has struck near Pondatitan in Philippines. Light earthquake, M4.5 quake has struck near Finchhofen in Papua New Guinea. Light earthquake, 4.1 mag was detected near Calatagan in Philippines. Light earthquake, 4.9 mag was detected near Kermadec Islands region. Moderate earthquake, 5 mag has occurred near Levuka in Fiji. Strong earthquake, 6.1 mag was detected near Gorontalo in Indonesia. Minor earthquake, 3.38 mag was detected near Manadero in BC and Yemex. Minor earthquake, 3.2 mag strikes near Indios in Puerto Rico. Light earthquake, 4.9 mag was detected near Honshu in Japan. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Is high-tech a danger to humanity? Making African Continental Free Trade Area work for women in a post-COVID-19 world. Anti-tough treatment clinical trial crucial for Africa. Stand tall, UN humanitarians. Sir Brian Urquhart, embodiment of the UN. 2021, Year of Living Dangerously. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. UK judge justifies Central Intelligence Agency spying on Assange citing debunked CNN report based on Central Intelligence Agency spying. Videos, Trump supporters breach security at Capitol building, clash with riot police. Live, U.S. Capitol on lockdown, Senate and House in recess. Pipe bomb found at RNC, DNC evacuated, report. One person shot after protesters storm Capitol, Trump urges stay peaceful. Portuguese nurse dies suddenly after receiving COVID vaccine. Epidemiologist Knut Witkowski, influenza has been renamed COVID in large part. Experimental COVID-19 RNA vaccines are operating system designed to program human DNA, says Moderna. After securing over $38 billion in U.S. aid for Israel, Kushner seeks potential $100 in kickback for his family bees. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Rumor alert, was a Trump flag raised to replace American flag at the U.S. Capitol? Capitol complex secure after violent occupation. Did Trump tell supporters to storm U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021? Does a photo show rioters snatching a podium in the U.S. Capitol? Fairy Chill Llama found wandering off Mass Highway. Did Pence unfollow Trump on Twitter following January 6 D.C. riots? Pro-Trump demonstrators swarm capitals across U.S. Judge bans Proud Boys leader from Washington after arrest. Media captures unprecedented storming of U.S. Capitol. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Local MAGA mobs take cue from D.C., try to storm state capitals. Lawmakers donned gas masks, prayed together as Trump mob descended on Capitol. Ann Coulter blames gigantic pussy Trump for MAGA riots, I hate him. Biden decries insurrection at U.S. Capitol, calls for Trump to end this siege. A running field guide to the far-right goons in D.C. Democrats claim control of the Senate after twin victories in Georgia runoffs. It's our first ever coup attempt, and there's no doubt who's behind it. Mad King Donald burns down the House. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Rioters leave trail of damage throughout U.S. Capitol building. Giants finally got it right with Joe Judge. How to watch Surviving Death on Netflix. Female shot during chaotic protests in U.S. Capitol has died. Michael Chiklis says Coyote is about humanity, not politics. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Arecibo is dead. Should we build its replacement on the moon? Venus was once more Earth-like, but climate change made it uninhabitable. Why is January 1st the beginning of a new year? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Los Angeles EMS workers told not to transport patients with low survival rates. FDA warns of risk in UK plan to delay second Pfizer vaccine shots. US COVID-19 deaths could reach 500,000 by the end of February. Post-COVID-19 clinics help long hauler patients who exhibit symptoms months after infection. California health leaders predict 1,000 deaths a week as some hospitals face holiday COVID-19 surge. UK's Boris Johnson reinstates national lockdown amid spiraling infections, new COVID-19 strain. New coronavirus strain spreads in US and UK. Cuomo calls new COVID-19 strain highly problematic. Houston hospital offers workers $500 to get COVID-19 vaccine. UK leader orders strict new lockdown as COVID-19 variant surges. The following headlines are from AlienUFOsightings.com. 2020, 8 year of UFO news almost too strange to believe. The following headlines are from military.com. VA, DC guards deploying to U.S. Capitol as siege by protesters continues. Trump supporters storm U.S. Capitol, clash with police. Air Force will now call it demographic, rank data on non-judicial punishments. The Navy hospital ship politicians want in LA is stuck in maintenance in Portland. I did all I could do. Co earns commendation for bravery in Camp Taji attack. National Guard will wear black ID vests to stand out from police during DC protests. Minuteman III missiles are too old to upgrade anymore, Stratcom chief says. Russia and West clash over Syria chemical weapons sanctions. Navy's new Arctic strategy calls for more activity as competition from Russia, China increases. Federal employee pleads guilty to taking $250K in bribes over military transport contracts. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. GOP lawmakers challenge electoral votes before Congress. Longtime St. Sabina pastor Flegger receives support, releases statement after sex abuse allegation sidelines him. U.S. Reps Foster, Caston, Underwood, DuPage GOP Chairman Jim Zay condemn attempted coup at Capitol. Days after she was sworn in, Illinois U.S. Rep Mary Miller facing criticism for invoking Adolf Hitler during speech in Washington. Man arrested with gun day after September killing charged with murder after weapon matched to shell casings. Chicago police officer arrested in alleged off-duty shooting. This is a coup attempt. Illinois members of Congress react with disgust as U.S. Capitol is stormed by pro-Trump mob. Illinois will make coronavirus vaccine available to residents 65 and older in next phase of inoculations. State watchdog sues ComEd in federal court over alleged scheme to bribe Michael Madigan. Chicago police, second victim dies from injuries in Gresham neighborhood shooting, police investigating as a double homicide. The following headlines are from FIS.org. 1/3 of U.S. families face a different kind of poverty. For 50 years, biologist has studied bottlenose dolphins from a research center on Florida's Gulf Coast. Cell biologists decipher signal that ensures no chromosome is left behind. In changing oceans, sea stars may be drowning. Nuclear fusion group calls for building a pilot plant by the 2040s. Businesses stand to benefit from sustainable restructuring. Researchers turn coal powder into graphite in microwave oven. Bird protections lifted in last-minute Interior Department rule change. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, January 6th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Are face masks here to stay? How much alcohol is too much? Meet the animals that self-medicate. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Trump supporters open gate at governor's mansion in Olympia, occupy front lawn. Number 22 Northwestern women roll past Wisconsin 80-55. A marvelous morsel at volunteer park. New Illinois Congresswoman, Hitler was right on one thing. I was closing my eyes and praying. Washington's Rep Pramila Jayapal described sheltering in place as mob breaks into Capitol. Trump incites terrorists. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. The latest, ex-President Bush sickened by mayhem at Capitol. How Warriors Eric Paschal is thriving as a small ball center. New Berkeley Rep series sets the action in, where else, Berkeley. The latest, Georgia governor calls riot in D.C. a disgrace. Capitol breach, protests target several other state houses. Trump tells rioters to go home, repeats election falsehoods. Ivanka Trump under fire for calling pro-Trump mob storming Capitol patriots. Capitol breach, world leaders condemn horrifying riot. Editorial, Trump's clumsy coup fuels dangerous national division. Newsom calls D.C. mob violence outright assault to our democracy. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. South Dakota, New Hampshire, West Virginia lead in getting COVID-19 shots into arms. Montana gun bill would allow concealed carry at universities. Woman shot at U.S. Capitol dies. Kentucky governor delays speech in response to D.C. protests. Officials identify knife-wielding man killed by officers. Elusive Catalina Island shrew spotted for first time in years. VT Rep Welch feared his safety, governor says Trump must go. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Trump unleashes mob to storm Capitol and disrupt functioning of U.S. government. As virus surges, new studies suggest warning for school reopening. NYPD cops accused of racism, sexism, and homophobia cost the city $500,000 over 4 years. While Republicans fractured, Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff teamed up, and it seems to have worked. Could Trump still try to attack Iran? Theater of Compliance, new report details how ICE escapes detention center oversight. Far-right violence is going to be a threat with or without Trump's calls to action. Following a spike in migrant deaths, a new law could help identify the dead. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. The revelation of the crustal geometry of the Western Kilian Mountains, Northeast Tibetan Plateau. An epidemic of overdiagnosis, melanoma diagnoses skyrocket. Chinese scientists uncover gene for rice adaptation to low soil nitrogen. The world's first integrated quantum communication network. An analysis of 145 journals suggests peer review itself may not explain gender discrepancies in publication rates. Study reports patient reported loss of smell in 86% of mild COVID-19 cases. Toxin chimeras slip therapeutics into neurons to treat botulism in animals. UTC study shows that mindfulness can help ease the pain of breast cancer survivors. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Man critically wounded in Grand Crossing shooting. Bears cannot afford to marginalize WR Allen Robinson in game plan versus Saints. Drew Brees' Saints empire is rooted at Soldier Field. Will it end Sunday? Woman fatally shot during pro-Trump siege on U.S. Capitol. Our democracy is under unprecedented assault, Biden says. Aviation Commissioner lobbies for increase in $4.50 a head airline ticket tax. Healthy and rejuvenated, Andrew Shaw is once again bringing life to the Blackhawks. Mitch Trubisky eager to go for it versus Saints. Woman charged with aggravated DUI in fatal Logan Square crash. The following headlines are from Riverfront Times St. Louis. COVID-19 trapped Big Mike in paradise. He's still there. Erase My Back Pain Reviews 2021. What's new? Free psychic readings online via phone call, chat and live video by legitimate love psychic reader experts. Best Male Enhancement Pills 2021 Sexual Health Supplements. The pageant presses pause on live shows again due to COVID-19. Josh Hawley says candlelight protest terrorized his family, Virginia neighbors. Bellwether's Brittany Van Hook graduated to her dream career. Long-running East Side strip club PT Centerville has closed permanently. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Here's a video of Mitt Romney casually getting heckled by Trump supporters. Black Homes Matter advocates to call on Whitmer to compensate overtaxed Detroit homeowners. Jeff Daniels to MC virtual Ann Arbor Folk Fest later this month. Detroit-based beauty giant The Lip Bar rebrands as TLB as it expands catalog and reach. Downtown Farmington's John Cowley and Sons Irish pub fined for violating pandemic orders. Family video to close all remaining stores, cites lack of foot traffic and new movie releases. Heated luminarias will bring wintertime outdoor dining to Southwest Detroit restaurants. Savage Love, European Adventures. Free Will Astrology, January 6th to 12th. Esquire names 3 Metro Detroit spots on list of 100 restaurants America cannot afford to lose. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Trump supporters storm U.S. Capitol, halt Electoral College vote count in terrifying scene. JJ what to Deshaun Watson, I'm sorry, we wasted one of your years. Streaming concert watch 1/6, Trent Reznor, Billy Corgan and more. What is a cool parent? 6 Houston sports stories we can look forward to in 2021. Market Square Park glows with newest public art installation. COVID hospitalization surge in Houston area heads for a rollback. The Expanse on Amazon Prime keeps expanding its universe. 5 biggest Houston Texans off-season storylines. Toxic masculinity makes crisis harder. The next headlines are about world records making news. Billie Eilish, which Guinness World Records has Billie Eilish broken? Express. 14-year-old Warzone player beats duo's kill world record with his father, CharlieIntel.com. These Diablo 3 speedrunners beat 2 world records with one outrageous run, PC Gamer. Ujjain, 9-year-old Sanvi creates world record, Free Press Journal. UAE chefs bake world's longest line of pies for Guinness record, UPI News. Guinness World Record for windsurfing the biggest wave ever. Sarah Hauser shares how she met her goal, Yahoo News. A ring with 12,638 diamonds sets a Guinness World Record, WCAD.com. Family of 12 siblings earns world record for highest combined age with 1,042 years, People. First undersea roundabout, the Faroe Islands sets world record, World Record Academy. Kia unveils new logo and slogan, sets Guinness World Record for fireworks, Yahoo Movies Canada. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Twitter lets Trump spread false election conspiracy as mob storms U.S. Capitol. Hell yes, give me the Apple Watch guided walking workouts. SolarWinds hackers access more than 3,000 Department of Justice email accounts. Researchers use AI to separate conspiracy from fact. New York wants to legalize it. This stealth startup is using electrical stimulation to help people walk again. The 10 best deals of January 6, 2021. Blue light and essential oil compound treat antibiotic-resistant skin infections in mice. Tile is reportedly launching a new tracker to make finding your lost keys easier. It's apparently very easy to riot in the Capitol when you're a Trump supporter. Updating. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mandorah in Australia at 108.14 degrees Fahrenheit or 42.3 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Batamaj in Russia at minus 59.62 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 50.9 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Why don't PCs use error correcting RAM? Because Intel, says Linus. Pro-Trump reporter gloats over access to fleeing Hill staffer's computer. Twitter tags Trump tweets with violence warning as insurrectionists storm Capitol. Updated. Frontier agrees to fiber network expansion and plan to exit bankruptcy. WhatsApp gives users an ultimatum, share data with Facebook or stop using the app. Ars readers gave a record $58,000 in 2020 charity drive. Amazon promises $2 billion for affordable housing projects near its corporate offices. Upcoming Apple privacy update has developers desperately seeking dodges. Study finds we're already committed to more global warming, sort of. Shkreli Award goes to Moderna for blatantly greedy COVID vaccine prices. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Nicole Wallace, I dare Ted Cruz and Mr. Hawley to go on with their shenanigans. Twitter limits reach of tweets stoking U.S. Capitol unrest. Woman shot during Trump riot inside Capitol has died, report. Watch, police unleashed tear gas and flashbang grenades to clear Capitol of Trump insurrectionists. Conservative trade group calls on Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment to preserve democracy. Got a mirror handy? Twitter scorches Lindsey Graham's call to identify and prosecute D.C. rioters. Reince Priebus blasts rioting Trump supporters as domestic terrorists, pure insanity and disgusting. Capitol Police member caught on camera taking selfies with insurrectionists. Officials had to beg Trump to issue a stronger condemnation of D.C. rioting, reports. Trump tells his very special supporters to go home after they terrorize D.C. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. We're going in, what happened as the barricades fell at the U.S. Capitol? Now is it a coup? Donald Trump is now a terrorist leader. Here's one silver lining to the Trump mob in Washington. The D.C. National Guard has been fully activated after insurrectionists storm Capitol building. Biden blamed Trump for insurrection at U.S. Capitol. Democrats control Congress, can they help restore democracy? Democrats take the Senate as Jon Ossoff officially wins in Georgia. Lunchtime photo. History making headlines in Georgia, and 17 spins of the state's official song. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Human bodies aren't built for extraterrestrial life, and other observations from our healthcare panel's 2021 Outlook, News, MM&M, Medical Marketing and Media, Medical Marketing and Media. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Innovation Discovery Grants awarded to Mass General Brigham. Scientific advancements designed to help patients, healthcare delivery, Globe Newswire. Aptinics to participate in H.C. Wainwright BioConnect 2021 conference, Odessa, American. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. The scientific quest to stop our bodies aging, and the questions about how society would cope, in news. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, January 6, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Radar and UAPs, a new resource. UFOs, what happens when a government cover-up turns out to be true? That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, January 6, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. True Strange News Fair Use Statement. No Views News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2020 by No Views News. All rights reserved.